What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie. We're back with a random topic. So Millie, what are we going to be talking about
today? We are going to be chatting about, from our travels, just like the differences between hotels and AirBnBs. Pretty straightforward. Just two options most times when people travel. I know there are like other house rental apps. What was that other one called?
I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, I know there are
so it doesn't
multiple
necessarily
different
have
ones.
to be an Airbnb per se, but I guess hotels versus renting like someone's apartment or home.
Yeah, facts. We've just done AirBnBs. That's our experience. But there are plenty of other apps or services that you could use. I know there's one where you can like house sit for someone. And then just some other options.
Right.
So I guess what would you say would be like a pro for an Airbnb and a pro for a hotel?
Oh man. Okay, so a pro for Airbnb would definitely be like a space. Like I feel like obviously hotel rooms are pretty small and compact, and you don't have a lot of room to like lay your stuff out and exist in. Because obviously when you're staying in a hotel, you're really there to be outside of the hotel, not in your room. But when you have like an Airbnb space, you have just more space to actually like be in a space and actually exist there without having to be outside all the time.
So, yeah, I love that.
So my first pro for like a rented space would be just the amount of space you have.
The space.
Yeah. What about
I love
for
that.
you?
Well, what would a pro for a hotel be for you? We got a con for a hotel in his pro for
straight bullet. Nah, but I guess a pro for hotels would be like points. You can rack up points and sometimes get a free night here or there. I mean, it takes a long time, but every once in a while.
Yeah, you can get a free night or two. Yeah, that's very true. So like the membership and free nights and things like that, because you do get benefits from your hotel memberships.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a great pro. Yeah, I definitely agree with both of your pros.
Okay.
I would also add on a pro for Airbnbs of just being like more immersed, I feel like, in the city that you're visiting, because typically it is, again, it's someone's home. So you're more so like living maybe in an apartment building where there's other locals that also kind of live in the same building. You're almost like coming and going as a local more so than you are a tourist.
Yeah, true.
So that would be my additional pro for Airbnbs. I feel like we could make the list go on and on for the pros for Airbnbs. I mean, I have some cons too, but we'll get there. And then a pro for a hotel, other than the membership, is a great question. I guess like room service. I would say that would probably be a big one for hotels.
Like ordering room service, or like them coming and like cleaning it.
Yeah, like cleaning the room and changing the sheets and everything like that. I feel like that would be a big pro for a hotel.
Yeah, just take some pressure off your plate. You can get fresh towels whenever you want.
Yeah.
Fresh TP.
Yeah, exactly.
Things like that versus
having to like supply some things yourself depending on how long you're staying.
Yeah, facts. All right, well now I feel like we should just get into cons. Like let's just flame the hotel industry really quickly, and then after we do that, we'll flame the Airbnbs just a little bit. And then we'll just So what would be like a couple of cons for you with hotels? What are some of your least favorite things with hotels?
Well, I mean, Millie kind of alluded to one in his Airbnb Pro. It is the space. You don't really have a lot of space to exist in a hotel. You kind of just have typically the one bed, basically one room and then a bathroom.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't love that aspect. You don't really have a lot of like places to sit or like, exactly. It's a little claustrophobic. And then I was gonna say, oh my gosh, expensive. They're so expensive.
Yeah.
They really are, because
hotels
like
are so expensive.
Yeah, so I would say that would be my other con like specifically for hotels that I might sneeze soon, but those would be my cons for the hotels. Would you add any cons for hotels?
Yeah, I mean, price proximity in like the city areas, again, very touristy, being like in a hotel per se.
Yeah.
A lot of hotels nowadays are getting away with not offering like the free breakfast like they used to.
That's
so
true.
we the consumer have lost the continental breakfast.
That's
which is just
right.
so sad.
Then you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You pay extra.
So whereas previously at hotels you essentially were getting your night and then a free meal to start your day. Now that free meal is gone out the window and you have to pay for breakfast, like
that's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Sad to see that.
You have to have like extra strong like membership, whatever, premium, silver,
all the membership
gold
tiers are crazy.
Like...
And then just like again, all of these corporations like Hilton, Marriott, all of these like hotel chains, like they're billion-dollar companies. You know what I mean? Like there's no need for them to be like tightening their budget to the point of leaving customers unsatisfied, and that's exactly what they've done by removing things like the free continental breakfast, which is a very low expense for a billion-dollar corporation in my opinion. So
I fully agree with that.
And then I would say like also service at hotels isn't always great, likely because the staff is underpaid and overworked, as we all are. And I just feel like that also, having to interact with people on like a day-to-day basis who don't necessarily like their job, also isn't really
Not
the best experience.
Exciting.
So those are some of my cons for hotels. So
I have a con for both.
Okay.
I have a con for both Airbnbs and hotels, and that is the checkout time.
Yeah, that is actually a scam though. That's actually such a scam. Like,
because I'm staying one night at a hotel. Tell me how I'm going to check in after 3 p.m. and they expect me to leave before 11 a.m. the next morning.
That's not even 24 hours. That's not even 24 hours.
How?
You should not be paying for a day.
Not even...
Yeah. Check-in times are an absolute scam. If I've paid...
and check-in
too, both. Yeah, because if I've paid for my stay to start on X date, that is when my day should start. I should be able to show up at 1 a.m. and be able to get into the spot because I've paid for that day. What do you mean I have to check in at 3 p.m.?
I know. Yeah.
And the thing that annoys me is that Airbnb has no reason to follow the hotel model in the check-in times. You have no reason to do that. You're in complete control of your system. You don't have to model hotels. And yet Airbnb has decided to also punish consumers with the late checkout or late check-in, early checkout. It's ridiculous.
Know. And I know they're doing it so they can clean the space and everything after the last guest leaves, but I feel like that takes no more than an hour.
Pay your workers. Hire more workers. You're a billion-dollar corporation.
So
not an excuse.
Checkout time should be 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Checkout time should be 2 p.m. I can sacrifice an hour of my 24-hour stay. But I just feel like making the check-in time 3 p.m. and checkout time 11 a.m. It's just too much time.
Yeah.
There's too much time lost because you literally can't do anything in the morning without having to bring your bags or wake up extremely early. So that would be what were you gonna say?
Just all of those things, because obviously if you have membership status and all that garbage, then they'll let you check out late.
Right, still, or you could pay to check out late, which is also a scam.
Yeah, it's just they're trying to nickel and dime you at every point.
And again, billion-dollar companies.
Yeah. All right. So then now, what are some cons for Airbnbs?
Okay, so cons for Airbnbs, I would say sometimes the listings can be a bit misleading.
Yeah, that's a fact. Sometimes people are using some high-def cameras to really elevate the look of the space.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I mean, I don't feel like I should have to inspect every picture to make sure I'm okay, yeah, this does actually look nice. I feel like if I'm swiping through and it looks nice, I don't want to show up and then and I also feel like there should be warnings if there's a lot of street noise or restaurants nearby or like things like that. I know restaurants nearby sounds more like a bro.
Yeah, I was like,
we had a weird situation. We were like staying over a fried chicken spot.
Yeah.
And
yeah, like a fast food spot.
Yeah.
that
and the smell wafted
just
in.
continued to waft in. Yeah. But,
so I feel like things like that. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I would like to know those things beforehand.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, the listings can sometimes be misleading. Would be one of mine.
One of the cons. Yeah. Yeah.
What about
that
you?
makes sense. I mean, I think also kind of the same opposite con with the hotel in the sense of like, you know, concierge might be in a bad mood type stuff. There isn't really someone that's like on call to help you with your issues. So like, for example, one time we were in an Airbnb and there was an issue with the stove. And yeah, like we reached out to the host. They basically were just like, yeah, unplug it and plug it back in. See if that works. And so we had to end up, you know, putting on our electrician hats, which are invisible, and had to figure out how to work this stove, and like there wasn't anybody to come and like help us figure out this problem. So so that would be probably a downside of Airbnb, is that you can't always like get the help you need in moments.
And on that same breath, which you were saying about the hotels, of like getting TP and getting things that you might need for your stay, like
that's on you.
If you run out, you have to supply that. So that would be another, definitely right on that line.
But I think, do you have any other cons?
I don't know. I guess
my last one would just be like, I would hope that hosts are actually like visiting their spaces and not just relying on their cleaning staff or their property manager. Like, I hope that more of the hosts in these rental apps are actually like going to those places, spend a night yourself there, see what you think, see how the drainage in the shower is, make sure all your electrical sockets are working, make sure all of your appliances are working. Like, that isn't something that the guests should find out upon arrival. So I think sometimes you can kind of tell, like, dang, this space probably isn't very lived in, because of the fact, like, it feels like we're testing devices for the first time. So I just think there should be a little bit of like, hey, maybe a warning here and there, like, hey, the drain clog, you know, I don't know.
And like supplying things that you feel like would be helpful or necessary. Like, I don't want to show up somewhere and stay there for an elongated period of time and not have proper cleaning supplies.
Yeah, things like that. So the little things can go a long way.
Yeah, they can. Absolutely.
But yeah, so I guess now we've gone through some pros, we've gone through some cons. So what's it gonna be? Which way are you leaning?
I mean,
an Airbnb.
I mean, I will always lean Airbnb.
Okay.
Because of the space aspect.
Yeah. I
like to be able to like exist in my space, and we cook sometimes, so I like that. We obviously, there's another pro and a con. For Airbnbs, we can cook, there's a kitchen. Con for hotels, you can't really do that, you got to go out every single time. So yeah, I feel like I will definitely lean to Airbnbs more so than I would hotels. What about you, Millie?
I'm the same. I'm gonna go Airbnb or rental, every single time. Reason being, for some of the elements, I personally think it is more of a price effective way to travel, simply because at a hotel you're gonna have to eat out every meal. If you get an Airbnb in a space, or again a rental, whatever, that has a kitchen or has a stove, you'll be able to cook and you can cut down on some of your travel expenses by making a couple meals here and there. That also gives you a more homey vibe in the like space that you're in. And the fact that you can kind of stretch your legs in an Airbnb, have some different rooms, more space generally.
Sometimes
it's not as
you can fully unpack your suitcase.
Depending on like what that space is like. And so I think that there are a lot of pros that come with, you know, staying in an Airbnb. And I think hotels are kind of like limiting in a sense. It's kind of like the old way. And I think if hotels want to compete in the space going forward, they're going to have to bring back some of those services that they've gotten rid of, in order to entice travelers.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a good point. Yeah. Well,
those are our thoughts on the differences between hotels and Airbnbs.
And rentals. Yeah. You get it. If you made it this far, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Peace.